Now come on, if you want to develop any Spring Boot applications or any Spring application, whether it is a Spring MVC, Spring project, so it's a Spring Boot, Spring Data API, Spring REST application. So any Spring application, if you want to develop in the real-time project means definitely we have to use one particular IDE software case, okay? Whether if it is Eclipse software, whether if it is STS, whatever it may be, that is up to based on the company organization. So based on your choice, you can download that particular software and you can start developing your Java application by using that particular IDE case. Okay, so as of now, I want to discuss about this microservice use case. What is this microservice use case, sir? So how to develop this Spring Boot application? I don't have any real-time experience to develop the application. So I want to develop this application by using STS software. So why we need to use only STS? Why not Eclipse? So as like there are multiple things we need to discuss about in this use case. Okay, so first before that, so if you want to develop any Spring Boot application, in order to develop one particular microservice means first you have to download STS software guys. Why sir? Why we need to use this STS software means if you observe here, STS means Spring Tool Suite guys. So that means it is a one IDE. IDE means integrated development environment. So it is a one environment guys. So there we can able to develop any application, so it will already integrated some particular concepts. Okay, so what are the basic environment is there, that environment already integrated so in this particular software. So that's why this is comes from the integrated development environment. Okay, so it is built based on this Eclipse software. Yeah, okay, so why sir, why we need to develop use this STS software means STS mainly it is designed for so Spring Boot application only case. If you want to develop the Spring frameworks applications means in the real time STS software is the most useful guys. Okay, so why sir, why we need to download this STS software means so let's go for the advantages of this STS software case. Okay, so it is optimized for Spring development. So that means so what is this optimized sir? So that means so if you want to develop this Spring Boot application, Spring MVC application in a Spring Boot projects means so it will, if you want to develop that applications mean it is very faster and easier guys. Okay, because it will provide the built-in operations. So whatever the minimum setup is required, so that setup already created by this Spring Tool suite case. Okay, so this STS software will create a built-in support for all the Spring Boot applications, and we can easily develop the application very fastly guys. Okay, without developing from the scratch. So whatever the basic environment is required, that is already auto setted by the Spring Tool suite. Okay, so that is the one advantages. What are the next advantages sir? Pre-configured environment. So it means it comes with essential plugins. So I want to develop some particular Spring Boot application, I want to include some plugins like so Swagger. If you want to configure any environment means so we can easily set up these guys. Okay, so that is the next advantages. So it is supports both Maven and Gradle projects. Yeah? So which project you want to develop? Sir, I want to develop Maven project. No sir, I want to develop Gradle project. Yes, you can develop whatever you want to develop, you can develop guys. Okay, so what is the next one means enhanced productivity features. So that means so your productivity features should be enhanced guys. Okay, so that means so smart code completion. Okay, so refactoring, Spring specific validations, all are built-in support guys. So you can easily monitor your application. That is the big advantages of this STS guys. Okay, so if you want to debug the code, if you want to test your code means that is also very easy to we can debug your codes guys. Okay, so it is also support microservice and clouds applications guys. Okay, so basically if you are using this Spring Boot, we can able to develop the microservices or not. Yes, so Spring Cloud. So there are multiple advantages of this softwares available guys. Okay, so we can easily integrate this application with the cloud platforms. Okay, so like a Cloud Foundry. So there are multiple things we can do with this STS software. So what is the next advantages means it is a free of cost. Yeah, it is a open source, it is not a commercial one. So STS is free. If we can happily download this STS software from the say internet without paying any money. Okay, it is a free of cost. So it is a open source software. We can freely download the software and we can develop the Spring Boot application, guys. So that is the main advantages of this STS software in order to develop Spring Boot application. Some of the guys don't know about how to develop the Spring Boot application. So where we have to develop, how which software is required means first you have to download this STS software in order to develop your Spring Boot application. So in order to develop this use case, definitely which software we have to download here, we have to download STS software, guys. So how to download this STS software, sir? So let's go for this downloading process, guys. So if we see, so we already created all these things or not? Yes, step by step guide for downloading and set up your STS software. Okay, so if you want to download this STS software, so you have to go for the official website, guys. So what is the official website in order to download this STS software means? So this is the official website. So let's copy this. Copy this. Let's copy this. Let's go to this official website, guys. Okay, so this is the official website for this Spring Boot STS. Okay, so now choose the correct version for your operating system. So for if you are using Windows 64-bit, so if you are using Mac OS, use .dmg. If you are using Linux, use .tr.gz, guys. Okay, so which one you want? So based on your operating system, you have to download that particular software. So as of now I am using Windows software, that's why I want to download Windows operating system. Yes, so this is the Spring tool for Eclipse. Okay, so Linux, so Mac OS, Windows. So I am using Windows software, that's why. So let's go download Windows software. So whenever we are clicking on this one, so automatically it is download. So downloading is in progress, guys. Okay, it is a zip file. We have to extract that zip file here. So once we download, so click on download and wait for the process to complete. Okay, so what is the next step means? We have to install that STS. So the first part is we have to download. Once download, automatically that software is not installed in your machine or not. If you want to install means, so you have to install that downloaded software. So now what, double click on the downloaded.ext file. Okay, so follow the installation wizard instructions. Select the installation directory. Default is also fine. No sir, I want to install other directory means you can choose wherever you want to install. So just click on finish button, guys. So okay, so this is the process for Windows operating system. If you are using Mac OS or Linux means, so this is the steps, guys. So these steps you have to follow for Linux operating system. So what is the next one means? Once we are install that particular software. Okay, so if you see that is already completed or not, let's go for downloads. Okay, so this is my compressor file. Let extract here, extract all, extract here only. I don't have any problem. Okay, so once that is completed, you have to install that particular software. Once installation completed, you have to configure and launch your STS software. So open STS and select a workspace. Wherever you want to develop your application, you can choose that particular folder as a workspace case. Okay, so after that click on launch. Automatically, so your workspace is ready. You can start developing your Java application. Okay, setup and Spring Boot application. So if you want to develop the Spring Boot application, just to go to the file menu and click on new, and after that Spring Starter project. So you have to choose Spring Starter project for Spring Boot application phase. So after that it will ask project name. You can give any project name here. Okay, so you choose either Maven or Gradle, guys. Sir, I want to develop Maven application means you can choose Maven. No sir, I want to develop Gradle application means you can choose Gradle. Okay, latest version also, it is not a problem. You can choose which version you want to choose. Okay, so after that you have to choose the dependencies list. So whenever we want to download develop Spring Boot application, you want to create a controller classes, services classes, DO classes. So if you want to log the statements, means log4j, SL4j, whatever it may be, that is up to your choice. You have to add those dependencies to your project page. Then only you can able to use that particular packages, classes, and methods case. So that's why. So for the Spring Boot application, you have to use Spring Web for REST APIs case. Sir, I want to develop this REST controller layer REST endpoints means so REST API. If you want to develop REST APIs means so you have to choose Spring Web case. So I want to communicate with database software means we have to use the dependency called Spring Data API. Sir, I want to use the web templates means you can use theme leaf base. Okay, so HTML, whatever it may be, that is up to your choice. So once all are completed, you can click on finish. Your Spring Boot project is ready, guys. Okay, so just your Spring Boot project only ready. You are not developed anything. Okay, so if you want to run that application means just click on that right click on your project here. So run as Spring Boot app means so that is automatically your application is started. Okay, so if you want to access your Spring Boot applications means so you go to open your browser and navigate. So wherever the port that is running by the Tomcat server, so you have to access that port. So from the local host case. So as of now, if that application is running in your local machine, that's why you have to use local host. If that is running on the any other server means we have to use that server details here. Okay, so http colon slash slash so localhost colon 8080. This is the default port number for Tomcat server in order to access your Spring Boot application base. Okay, so this is the how we have to download. So why we have to download STS software. So after downloading, how to install your STS software in your machine and how to start your Spring Boot first application. So this is the process is. So let's go for practical on this. Whatever the downloaded compressed zip file is there, we have to extract that zip file guys. Okay, so it is successfully extracted. So let's open this folder guys. Okay, so within this folder we have a STS so 429 one release version. Okay, so if you open here, so the green color Spring Tool Suite, this application is available or not. Yes, we have to click on this application guys. So just to double click on it here. Whenever you are clicking on this particular application, it start your STS software base. Okay, so by default it is asking your workspace. So whenever we started this microservice use case, I will create a new folder for your workspace case. So that folder I will use as a workspace case. Okay, at that time I will choose that, but as of now I am using this default location as a workspace. So let's click on this launch. Yes, so it is started, right? Yes, so now this is the Spring Boot tools, Spring Tool suite case. Okay, let's make it as a into task bar. Okay, so this is the how it will look like case. So if you want, you can minimize the here. So all these, whatever you want to minimize, you can minimize this. Okay, yes. So this is the your application. If you want to create your Spring Boot application, so just here also you can create new Spring starter project. So direct here also we can click. So otherwise, so go to file menu, click on new, and here if you see Spring starter project, we have to choose this Spring starter project for creating a Spring Boot application guys. Let's click on this one. So if you see, it is downloading all the required jar files for from this URL only. So it is asking name or not. Yes, so it is a your Spring Boot application name. So which name you want to create, you can create this. So just it is a demo application. I am not started with any Spring microservice use case. Just for demo purpose. Yes, we can make this name as a Spring. So here, so if you see, type is available guys. So here you can choose Gradle or Maven. So which application you want to develop, you can create, you can choose the type case. Sir, I want to create a Gradle application. Choose Gradle, either Groovy or Kotlin. No sir, I want to develop Maven application. You can choose Maven. As of now I am using Maven case. Okay, so here if you after developing application, how you want to export, so whether if it is a jar file or WAR file, that is also you can choose. I am using jar only. So language, which language you want to use, Kotlin or Groovy or Java. So I am using Java, that's why I am choosing Java guys. So here Java version also you can choose. So you can choose latest version also, that is fine. 17, 21, 24. So you can choose any one guys. I am using 21 version. Okay. Here group is the package name guys. So that's why, so we got which package you want to create, you can create. Okay, so as of now com.nt.app. So simply I'm using three words in order to create my package. This package name should be as simple as possible and as short as possible, and also all are small letters only. Okay, each and every word is separated with dot case. So here I am using three words I separated with dot, so it is very short name. Okay, so when it comes to artifact, it is a your project name only. Okay, so after that, so when it comes to this one, so click on next, that's it. So you can just click on next case. So here it is asking if you see Spring Boot version, so which version you want to choose, you can choose. By default it is choosing 3.4.4, that is also fine. So it is asking dependency case. Here you have to add all the dependencies. So based on your project requirement, you have to add all the dependency case. So later also you can add, so that is not an issue. If you, sir, I don't know which dependencies I want to add for this project, so no problem, later also we can add guys. Okay, so but as of now I am using web, I want to add web application, that's why Spring Web I am adding guys. Okay, so if you want anything, so Lombok API is also available. So if you want Lombok means Lombok also fine. Okay, so Dow tools, Spring Boot Dow tools. So you can use Spring Boot Dow tools. So sir, I want to communicate with database software. Yes, Spring Data's API also available. If you see Data's API is available or not. See, it is communicating with Oracle SQL software. Yes. So like that, based on your choice, okay, you can add whatever you want. So after that, just click on finish. That's it, guys. So once that is complete, once you are clicking on this project, if you see importing, getting started or not. So whatever the required things are there, it is importing from here, guys. Okay. Yes. So just project is created here. If you see, so what is the project setup means, it is a form. First form.xml is available, guys. This is the how we need to create a project. This is the how we need to create a Spring Boot project, guys. For more such type of interesting videos, subscribe our channel. Stay tuned. So learn more content, guys. Thank you.